Good morning. I want to start by first the most fundamental right and responsibility in the world, protecting life. As Whip Scalise talked about last week, numerous House Republicans' effort to bring up the bill, Born Alive Protection Act. We've made unanimous consent recommendations and requests, denied every time. But we will do it again and again and again. Because this bill simply says this. If a child has survived after attempted abortion, that they should receive mandatory medical care. The reason why do we have to bring this up? It's sad to say the recent law that was passed in New York, current proposals in Virginia and New Mexico, this callous act, we will continue to speak. And we think it should have a voice and a vote on the floor. I want to thank our ranking member of Appropriations, Kay Granger. First, we do not have the language yet. This is what I'll be looking for. I understand what the Democrats' goal in all of this, having sat through numerous committees. One, the Speaker is very clear. Speaker Pelosi said only $1 for the wall. They wanted to eliminate beds, which fundamentally meant you released individuals into the country that have a criminal background record. And, as the Democrats have been fighting for quite some time, they wanted to eliminate ICE. The only option, really, that we have going forward is a continuing resolution or whatever agreement comes out of here. First, it's not $1 for the wall. They did listen to the experts. It's not as far as I would have liked on the amount of money. The president still has an option to put more money in. The question that you'll look at, does he have the ability to build the barriers in the areas the experts requested? I believe that will be the case. When it comes to making sure we can not release criminals into our society, with the work that Kay Granger did on the beds, we have the ability to do that. ICE, if you look at the end of the day funding, is actually increased. So I think from a one perspective, you cannot get everything what you request. You're going to have to find some common ground. So it's not everyone's going to be happy about the agreement, but does it put a framework in to make sure that we're able to secure the border? That's what I'll be looking for in the language when it comes out. And the president still has a few more tools in his toolbox to use to make sure that we have the border completely secure. You're all ready for questions, though, huh? All right, let's go.
Do you have assurances from the president that he will sign the border security bill?
Well, I don't think the president should assure anything until he reads the bill. That's why you haven't heard from me until I see the language, until I know what's inside it. This is the framework of what has been reported, and I'll read the language. I know the Democrats have changed the rule. We had 3 days. They went to 72 hours. But I understand they're going to break their rule already. So I'm not sure when we'll vote on it, but one thing I want to make sure is that we have enough time to thoroughly read this bill before any vote is taken. Yes, sir.
Just to be sure, both you and Mr. Scalise, I understand, are not right now backing this bill.
No, let me be very clear. I back the framework of what I understand it to be, but why would anybody say they're voting for something that they haven't read yet? So I know we've been through a lot of discussions. It's been the 4 individuals on appropriations. So let's see the language. Let's read the language. But if I look at the framework, I support the framework of this bill.
Would that hinder momentum for this package?
No, I think the framework is there. Even if you listen to the president, he looks at the framework. Yeah, he would like to have more money. I'd like to have more money for a barrier there. The president still has some options to make sure we get there as long as we have the framework to provide that to him. I think that would be the goal. If I look at a continuing resolution, I think that would constrain things further. Yes.
Mr. Leader, not to put too fine a point on it, but when we were in this situation last time,
Yes.
the president listened to the Sean Hannitys of the world, the Mark Meadows and Jim Jordans of the world, and he pulled the rug out from under you at the last minute. What makes you think he's going to listen to you and members of Congress this time instead of listening to talk radio hosts and TV hosts?
Look, I think at the end of the day, the president's going to look at the bill and make a judgment based upon what's in it. Same way I will make a judgment based upon what is written.
They're trashing it. I mean, Sean Hannity's out there trashing this proposal.
Okay, well, let's sit there and read what it is. And let's understand, does it give us the ability to secure the border? That's all of our goals to do.
Last question.
Yes.
I was hoping Congresswoman Granger could walk us through those remaining sticking points that we're hearing about, Violence Against Women Act and the federal back pay. What is the status of
Well,
those?
if I could first take on VAWA, because that's different than from the appropriations. We do not want to have VAWA expire. We want to extend it out. That will become a question down. Hopefully, Speaker Pelosi would not want to have VAWA expire, which would be on Friday. That's why we would like to add that and make sure it's in. Did you have another question for?
Yes.
Okay.
And the federal back pay as well. That's another outstanding issue we're hearing about.
That federal back pay, that's still a discussion we're talking about for the private contractors. Yes.
This is my assignment for the day. I wonder if you see any prospects in the House for Senator Cruz's suggestion or his legislation that the assets of El Chapo should be redirected to pay for a wall.
If that was capable of doing, I think that would be a very good option to be able to go through, to utilize that money. No, it's one that he's brought up, and we'd like to look at it to have the capability of making that happen. Yes.
Can I ask a question to the whip, please?
Yes, you may.
Yes, you may. Thank you.
So I'm curious if you are in agreement with the majority leader and the rest of your caucus that the president should sign this bill, or if you think that he should have held out for more and you are actually not in support of this to push for more.
Well, few issues there that I think we should clear up. I agree with the Leader McCarthy that, number one, we need to see the language and make sure it does the things that we are pushing for. It needs to have more money for wall. From what we're hearing, it will have more, but not as much as we would like, not as much as the president would like, but more than current law. More flexibility is needed right now under current law to build the wall where it's needed most. Where our Border Patrol experts tell us are the areas where the most drug trafficking, the most human trafficking is coming across our border is where they want to build wall. And in some of those areas, they're prohibited in current law from building it there. Hopefully, some of those prohibitions get removed so that they can start building wall in areas where it's needed most. Those are the things we're looking for. Obviously, if that's in there, no poison pills, then I would support it. And I think the leader indicated the same thing. If they're poison pills, and that's where Leader Granger is working to make sure that they don't put language in that would set us back from where we currently are. And I think that's what the president's watching as well.
But as it stands with the 1.375, you do not agree that the president should sign this as it is.
I never said that. I said the president is looking to make sure that whatever deal is agreed upon is going to put us in a better position than we are under current law, where we'd be under a CR. Under a CR, we wouldn't have some of the flexibility that we're trying to get in this bill. The president wants more flexibility to build wall where it's needed most, and in some cases, he's blocked in current law from building it there. If this advances that, removes those prohibitions, I can't speak for the president. Obviously, he wants to read the language too. In terms of what I'm looking for, I want to see us go further than we are today. We voted, by the way, in the House when we were in the majority. Kevin was the majority leader at the time, and as the whip, we helped get the votes to pass a bill to fund the full $5.7 billion. We passed that through the House. Some of those folks that opposed the bill that time, they were opposing the Senate bill that didn't have that money. When Pelosi told the president the House couldn't pass it. Well, guess what? We did pass it. We funded the full $5.7 billion. We're not there today. We're not going to probably get as much as we would like, and surely not as much as we passed when we were in the majority. Shows you why Speaker Pelosi doesn't support the same kind of border security that we support when we were in the majority.
But you do intend to vote for it.
I haven't seen the language. I want to see the final deal.
Let's be very clear. I think we should see the language. Is it enough for the wall that we requested, more than $5 billion? No. But is it a down payment? Yes. Does it give the president the ability to build more wall? If that answer is yes, the president also has the ability and other tools to utilize more funding to finish it out. So I'm looking at an overall structure that it gives the president the flexibility to secure the border, and that means in a wall in further areas that the experts say we need the barrier to be? And does it provide that we have the number of beds we need to make sure criminals are not released into our society? And is ICE have the funding they need to do their job? These are three elements that the Democrats wanted to eliminate. Does it fund all the way? No, but we also have other tools to utilize to get to that further point. So is this a down payment? If the language comes out the way the structure is told to me, I would support this. but I want to make sure I read the language and make sure we're giving the president the down payment he needs while he still has the tools to finish the job through, because the Democrats will not allow it to go all the way. Thank you very much.